What is up guys, SubtreX here and welcome back to my channel. So in this video I am going to be talking about my biometric experience for the F1 visa process. So for getting a USA F1 visa there are two parts to it. That is, the first part is your biometric and the second is your consular appointment or your visa interview. So I will be sharing my experience of the biometric process, so let's go. Okay, so my biometric was on 8th June. It was at the Kolkata VAC, that is the Kolkata Visa Application Center. It is at Shakespeare Sodoni. So people from in and around Kolkata will know it is very close to the Excite Mall, which is like a landmark in Kolkata. So my slot time was 2:45 p.m. I reached there at around 2 p.m. and then I went up to the main entrance of the building. The building is called Jasmine Tower. So I went up there and I asked the security guard who was present there, and I asked if the 2:45 p.m. slot students are being allowed inside. So he told me, he went back, he checked and he said, okay, you can go inside. So there was no queue or something outside the main building. So I just went and asked and he told me to go inside and go up straight to the first floor where the main visa application center was located. So I went ahead. I did not carry my bag. My father went with me. I did not carry my bag. I just had my folder and my phone with me. So yeah, that was it. So I went to the first floor, and then when I reached the first floor, you will notice it immediately that there will be other students who will be standing there, and there will be queues formed. So there was two queues which were there. So I went ahead and joined a random queue. I did not know which queue to join. So just as soon as I joined a queue, another person came, a security guard. She came up to me and then asked me that what is my purpose. I said I have come here for my visa biometric. So she asked me to show my passport, my DS-160 and my appointment confirmation. So these are the only documents you are going to be needing. I will be making a separate video on the documents that you will be needing for your biometric and your visa interview, so stay tuned for that. So yeah, after checking the documents, she gives them back to you and then says that just keep these documents ready and no other document is needed, and just stand in this line. So then begins your waiting game. So I waited for almost around 20 minutes. It was kind of a big queue. There were around 15 other people who were standing in front of me. So one by one people were being called into the actual VAC, actual VAC, and then the process continues inside. So as the queue moved forward, I moved forward along with the queue, and then I went into the VAC. So after going into the VAC, they will ask you if you have a phone, and if your phone is switched off, they will ask you to see your phone if it is switched off or not. I showed them my phone. Yeah, it's switched off. They said okay. So then they will ask to give your documents, your DS-160, appointment confirmation and your passport, to a counter which is just beside you, and then a security guard will frisk you, like, check for if you have anything else, like, frisk your body, and then he will ask you to proceed to the counter. So I went to the counter, and then in the counter they asked me my name. I said my name, Shubhadeep Jana, and then they took the passport, they saw the passport, and they applied a sticker at the back of the passport. Now this sticker is very important. Do not lose the sticker. Like, this sticker is very important, like it will be needed the next day at your visa interview. So yeah, after they put the sticker, they gave me back my documents, my 3 documents, and they asked me to proceed to the next room. So I went to the next room, and in the next room, it was like the main area where the biometrics were being conducted. So again, there were queue. So I was asked to stand at a designated area. I was asked to stand there, and then as the queue proceeded, I noticed there were 2 counters open where biometrics were being conducted, and another counter, a third counter, was open where people were collecting their passports, like, self pickup, or they were collecting their passport, their stamped passports, people who have already gone through their visa interview and stuff. So I stood there, and the whole center is fully air conditioned, so you don't need to worry about sweating too much and stuff. But still, I would suggest keep a handkerchief with you because it is always handy. So yeah. So as the queue will proceed, you will be proceeding along with the queue, and there are people everywhere, officials everywhere. They will be, if you have any problem, you can ask them. They will guide you, go this side, go that way, give this document to him, and all that stuff. So yeah, so after the person who was before me completed his biometric, I was being called. So I went in, and the biometric center is like, simple counters. Like, there is a glass panel, and there is a person sitting opposite to you, and there is like a white board at the back of you, which is especially they will be clicking your photos, so that white background is needed. So it is like a enclosed coop kind of thing. So you enter, And then the person says, give me your documents. I passed my documents, my DS-160, my appointment confirmation and my passport. So he took the documents and he saw, then he stamped the DS-160. Now the stamping of DS-160 is also pretty important. It's just a stamp of the date on which the biometric was concluded. So yeah, also keep in mind that his DS-160 is stamped and your passport has a sticker at its back. These are the two main things you will come out with after your biometric is done. So yeah, he asked me for my documents. I passed the documents. He saw the documents, and then he asked me, what is your name? I said my name again. Then he asked me, what is your date of birth? I said my date of birth. So after taking your documents, he will ask you to read something. Now it is basically like a declaration, like it is just in front of you. If you put your head down, you will see it's stuck to the table. It is like a declaration that all the information that I have provided is true to my knowledge, and anything is not false, and if it is false, then I will be attending to perjury and stuff like that. So he'll ask you to read it in your head. It will take around 30-45 seconds to read it. You just read it. So after you have read it, just say to him, okay, I have read it. And then he said, if you could just move 2 steps back, because I will be clicking your photo for the biometric. I said okay, and then I moved 2 steps back, and then I stared at there's a DSLR on a tripod, like, you know, on the other side of the glass panel, and he will give you instructions like you need to put your chin up, you need to put your chin down, you need to move to the left, to the right, whatever it is, he will be giving you instructions. Just follow the instructions, and that person who is opposite, he speaks into a mic, and you can hear the sound from a speaker somewhere, so it's pretty loud. So there's no problem of not understanding the person not being audible. So yeah, so the photo was done, and then he asked me to come forward. I went forward, and then he said, okay, now I will be taking your fingerprints. I said okay. So he asked me to put my right fingers first. Now, my fingerprints, I had to do them for almost like 2-3 times. I don't know, it was not registering for some reason. So yeah, first of all, he'll ask you to put your right hand 4 fingers, then he'll ask you to put your left hand 4 fingers, and then he'll ask you to put your thumbs together, 2 thumbs together. So that will be your fingerprints. Your fingerprints will be done, and then he'll ask you to step back again, and then he will read out to you, say that your visa interview date is on this date on this time, so please be at time for your visa interview, and you have chosen the mode of delivery to be this, whatever you have chosen, so please collect your passport after it is done, and blah blah blah. And then he will say that okay, your visa biometric is completed, you can please take your documents and leave. So he will pass you your 3 documents. You just take the documents, make sure you've taken everything, because I forgot my appointment confirmation, and I almost went out of the counter, and the person said, excuse me, you forgot your appointment, and I again went back. Oh, sorry sir, I took it and then went back. So that is all about your biometrics, and then there will be a person who will guide you. Okay, please go to this door. Now the door through which you will be exiting, you have to press a button, and then you have to like push open the door, then and only then the door will open, otherwise the door will not open. So that's the thing, you will just know it, seeing other people do it. So yeah, that's all about your visa biometric. That is all. So no, like, nothing too tough questions will be asked to you, so you don't need to be very worried about your visa biometrics. And it's a very, whatever I saw at Kolkata VAC, and I guess it is same at every visa application center across India, it's a pretty streamlined process, pretty smooth process, and everything is handled pretty well. So yeah, it won't be much problem, and the whole process took me around, I would say, 45 to 50 minutes maybe. So the waiting times are depends on the rush at that point of time, the amount of people who are standing in the queue at that point of time, but otherwise it was well and good. So yeah, that was all for this video. This about my visa biometric experience, and the next video coming up will be about my visa interview experience. So yeah, I hope this video helps you, and if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe like a snare, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, peace out.